you, but I have to time it just right so that we don't lose you, because we lose you at that little hump down there. But happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mothers out there. Um, Hopefully, you all are having and going to have a wonderful day, whatever you're doing. Um, if you're a mother of two legs or four legs, happy Mother's Day. And if you've never had the blessing of being a mother, then maybe you're an aunt. And so that's just as important. You're somewhat of a motherly figure to those precious children. Um, so anyway, um, I wanted to wish everybody happy Mother's Day. Uh, yeah, so you can slow down. So anyway, that makes all sense, right? So we are on our way to church. We are going to go to church. We're going to come home. Josh is still coughing, so he's just not able to be quiet enough to come to church yet, but he's slowly getting better. It's just, boy, the allergies this season around. And of course, we're going my favorite way in the world.
Yes.
And this next Mother's Day, I'll be a grandmother and you'll be a great grandmother this
Yes.
next round of Mother's Day. Everybody off the road till Blessed to Crochet is at church, and then you all can get back on the road. So anyway, hi Tuber Chat, welcome on in. I will get back into Tuber Chat. We just had a lot going on lately. We're gonna go home and have uh, eggs Benedict. One of my favorites. It was one of my grandfather's favorites. Hadn't had that for a while. Canadian bacon from Walnut Creek. Thank you very much from Walnut Creek. So we're gonna have that and have that, and then probably gonna take a rest and have to work on some more soap caddies. Watch a movie tonight, and then tonight we're having hamburgers. I'm making roads. Take them out of the. I need to take them out of the freezer.
Yes.
So that they get nice and thawed before we have to cook them. We're gonna have that tonight with mushrooms, corn on the cob, French fries, or tater tots, and salad. So that's what we're gonna have for dinner. Make some green beans for Josh because he doesn't corn well. And so that's kind of our day. It's going to kind of be a really laid back kind of day. Now, tomorrow, I have my doctor's appointment in the afternoon, and then we are supposed to have the first part of the interview with this gentleman. So we're going to go do that. So I really have to work today on finishing up anything that I need to show off. And I actually want to do a baby poncho because I do those. So I could take that with me and show that set. So I'm going to be working on the baby poncho this afternoon. I've got one camo booty, one of the camo booties to finish up, and then I can start working back on soap caddies tomorrow. And I have to wash the lady that ordered her soap caddies. I have to wash her soap caddies. So I'm off to the races and so forth. So I'll have to go through that box and see if there's any I have any patriotic. So I also have to do some uh you know can't think what it is. Yeah, some sealing up some of the soap caddies because I'll be able to show those off. So, and he has some soap caddies if I need to borrow any of his to show off as well. So, just a lot of things going on. And then we're going to be doing some more lives this week. Now, I just wanted to tell everybody, I know that there's going to be times I was hoping that we weren't going to lose any watch hours but we are losing watch hours, gaining some, and then we're losing some. So yesterday we had 1942. Today we have 1944. Please do not get discouraged as a community as we're growing those watch hours. Oh, well, she's not really growing that many watch hours that fast. The problem is that once you kind of have your first year, and that's why if you're going to get a channel monetized, you need to get, and you should get your it within the first year, because then you don't have that gain some, lose some in watch hours. So please don't get discouraged. We are increasing our watch hours. And also remember, FSC, welcome on in. Just remember too that YouTube is about 4 or 5 days behind in what our watch hours are, valid watch hours are compared to what they are. So you guys can put hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. But again, it is so on community. Community is just, I can't express it enough that when you build your YouTube channel on community, you have um that mindset of doing that. You change how you look at things, because then you have strength in the community that you have built. And those clouds, by the way, are just gorgeous today. And that is what we have done here. We have built a channel on community, and so we are growing our community members. It's not that, we're not growing subscribers, we're growing community members, because community members have a stake in your channel. They have a stake in you and who you are, and they want to see you succeed. And when you succeed, they succeed. I was watching yesterday, kind of been watching the A-Team thing of my dad lately. And one of the things that was said was, he was talking and he said, my mother just really was such a huge influence. And he said, I don't ever lose. He said, I don't lose. He said, I always win. Even if I don't win first place, he said, I've still won. He said, I was a champion wrestler, whatever. And he said, I only won third place. And he said, in something or other, I can't remember what it was, but he said, he said, I never lost. He said, just because I came in third did not mean that I lost. I was still a winner because I did it. And I think sometimes when we don't grab that prize, that we didn't win, but we still won because we did it. We didn't just sit back and say, oh, well, didn't, we participated and we won, and no matter where we come in. And it doesn't mean that it's not good to fail sometimes. There are lessons in failing in life. And so the people that have children, let your children fail. They need to fail at times, because they need to see that, yeah, we can fail. What can we learn from this, and we can move on. And so there's nothing wrong with failing. But in this thing, it's like, well, we got our monetization, and we've lost the monetization for a little bit because of watch hours. Well, did we fail? No, we still won, because we still accomplished something that only a certain amount of channels accomplish. And we didn't do it, and we're still growing. We've grown since April 21st to about 65 community members. And so we're growing. Things are happening. We're going to get stronger. I've learned things in this whole process. And that's the whole point of it. You know, when you all are helping a channel get to the stake of monetization, you can help them. If, I don't ever expect anybody to sit. I'd love it if they do, but even if you take our stuff and have it in the background, take the moment, and if you want to run, watch our playlist, then go back and give every one of those things a thumbs up. Maybe make a comment a couple of the videos so YouTube sees that you're interacting with the community. I really wish that they would change. And I think if they did, there would be a huge number of people that would hit the connection button. I so wish that they would change subscribe to connect, because we do not, I subscribe to um, Netflix and Hulu and Hallmark Plus, but I am not connected to them. I'll do an example right now. I love One Calls the Heart, and I love the new show they're coming out, Hope Valley 1894, I think it is. And Josh said to me yesterday, "Are we done with Hallmark? Because we've watched all the seasons for um Hope Valley." And I said no, because now I'm involved with 1890 Hope Valley 1894. But if that show was offered on a different platform that was cheaper or free, I'd be hopping over there real quick. Yeah, go ahead and cancel Hallmark. I'm not attached to Hallmark. I'm attached to the show and the characters and what's happening next in the next episode. So it's kind of like this. When you have channels, you are attached to the channel. And so hitting that button, you're really not subscribing, because when people hear that, they think of it costs something. Because in today's world, when you subscribe to Hulu, Netflix, all those things, there's a cost to them. But it is totally free to do it on YouTube. But I do think that they should change that button. And even when you become a channel member, you're still not subscribing to the channel. You're supporting the channel. So that's my whole little take on it, but something for you all to think of. But you're investing in a channel, just like, all of you mothers out there, you're investing in your children. Um, you know, take those precious moments. If I could go back as I'm watching Christina soon to become, a mother, I am just thinking to myself, I would give about anything, almost anything, to sit for an hour to hold her as that little one, because those times go by so, so quickly. You think you have all the time in the world, and when you're in the trenches, changing the diapers, going through the night feedings, you're doing all the things, and they just won't stop crying for 3 hours and all that kind of stuff. It's hard to enjoy the moment. And then before you know it, they're off to middle school and off to preschool and off to kindergarten, off to middle school, off to high school, going to their proms, get their driver's license, dating, and then eventually getting married, and then becoming mamas of their own. And so, in the best advice that I could give to any mother out there, or soon to be mother, is don't rush it. One thing that I have said to my daughter is, Christina, there are going to be times where you're going to have laundry and dishes and all this other kind of stuff. Those all things can wait. They're not, they're important. They need to get done. But if you need to sit in on the couch and just hold that little one for an hour, right? Do it. The other stuff will wait. You won't ever have that time again, because down the road, especially first time mothers, the next child you have is going to be, pulling at your dress strings and saying, "Mama, mama, mama." You won't have necessarily that same precious time again to enjoy. So if I have any advice, as I've gone and watched all that's happened and my daughter's grown, it's mothers that are going to be mothers for the first time, treasure that. Don't rush it. Don't rush their growth. And all the mothers in the middle of life and special needs mothers, have a very special place in my heart because you guys have taken on something you didn't ask for. I know because I did it. You didn't ask for, you didn't want, but you're having to be in the mix. And if you're raising a special needs child, your job is even harder than anybody raising just a regular child. You are having to put in more effort and more time, and you're also having to battle and advocate for them in a way that someone that does not have a special needs child is not having to do because our world does not totally understand it all. And you're trying to learn everything you can about this and how do I do this and how do I facilitate this, all this kind of stuff. And so to the special needs moms out there, big hugs, and to the women that have never become mothers. You're still special. And maybe you have nieces or little cousins or whatever, love on them because that can be an amazing gift. Or, go volunteer where you can be an influence in the lives of children and so forth. So we're almost at church, y'all. From my mother and I, we want to wish you all a very happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
To all the mothers, the grandmothers, the fur baby mothers, the aunts, and the special women in your life. And if you've got a mother, she's here and you're not where you can go see her today, give her a call. Let her know how special and important she is. Mother, I love you bunches. And with that being said, we're going to go into church and have a great day. And then we're just going to go home and rest. I probably won't be live today. I didn't have the greatest sleep. That nerve's just it's not giving me a break today. It should on Mother's Day, right? So with that being said, y'all, love y'all. Have a great day. Remember to be proud of being you because everyone else is taken. Keep crocheting that connection. No crochet hook is required. We have you covered. Thank you so much for having us covered. And today is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad it is. Love you all. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Bye bye for now.